The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? From the 6. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field and see if they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Someone thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Hurts. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opener. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So Miami coming out for their second drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Pollard. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It's taken to the 26. There's the stiff arm. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Ready.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 36. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now here come the Dolphins. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Out to his left. And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down as well. And it looks like this is going to be all for naught. Liam Eichenberg, second-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Tyreek Hill from last week. There are the numbers. 4 catches, 70 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now. Number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Brett Kern now to punt this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
$17-0 our score after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll go again with Sanders to the 27-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. They kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Miami set to take over. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, you know, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Tua. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to pass, Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run left with Pollard. And he'll go down right around around the 47 this time. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, and it's Pollard again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had them on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise, and start to put together some drives.
Check pink. Yellow, one. Red, red. Switch, yellow. Blue, check. Check white.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
He's well good with the extra point. And that cuts this lead down to 14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. This offense returns to the field. And the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know. This game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lot, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. On first down, Hurts. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does. And I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, it would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Tua sets up to pass it. On the right side, open is Gesicki. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Tua setting up shop to throw again. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Touchdown! Tony Pollard, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will shrink to 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Goes right back to Smith again. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the Dolphins are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Tua, a final shot before half. Floating one, incomplete. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. In the 1 o'clock games, the one that catches the eye happens in Big D at AT&T Stadium, a tough test for the Cowboys as they'll square off with the New Orleans Saints. As for the 4 o'clock games, some good ones there as well. One being in Charlotte, where it'll be the Panthers taking on the New York Jets. And lastly, we'll be tuned in on Sunday night for what should be an entertaining one between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Chicago Bears. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams likely making their final adjustments before the second half. So, time for us to go back downstate to Miami and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. So here are the Eagles to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the longer way out there, but it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because we see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Come on.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down and 4, Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. The Eagles are going to have it 1st and goal. It's a tackle made at the 10-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hurts. Smith catches left side. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith from 10 yards out. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the 2nd half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And his throw here's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that will be incomplete. Those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game. That time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Left side here to Sanders. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
They'll fake the give to Sanders. Now Hurts. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Here's Hurts to throw.
This is Smith with a grab.
He's going to have the 1st down and more than that.
A big play there for Philly. And even 40 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hurts going to keep it running right.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year.
And the Eagles are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Elliott now to add the extra point. He's got it, and the lead stretches to 35-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua, open man is Hill. He's got it. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Over the middle here to Wilson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now left side on the swing pass. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Okay,
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Tua. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, this defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick-6.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only did they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick-6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Tagovailoa trying again after the pick-6. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's upended at the 33. Pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Looking to pass. Tua. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. This is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. 2nd and 12 now at the 44-yard line. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Dolphins 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Tua's throws taken in by Waddle.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with it. Ball here in the 4th quarter, Charles, and I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Another run with Sanders.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 93 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Running right, here's Sanders. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and They did just that here in the fourth quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always comes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Dolphins 14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
Check right.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man, complete. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Tua setting up shop to throw again. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
2nd down and goal. Tua. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Boswell good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken from about the 12. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. This offense returns to the field, and the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point, but that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's running really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's got this down to the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Eagles, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Miami, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.